This is the 6-inch vertical bender. It's designed specifically for channel letters. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to get the most out of your machine. Now let me run you through a few components of this machine. This is your clamp. When I step on the foot pedal, it closes the clamp. On this part of the machine is where all your sharp bends will be made. This rotator rotates back and forth. You can bend in either direction, which is a major advantage over conventional brakes. This part of the machine is where you're going to bend all of your radiuses. This roller rolls for different size radiuses. Very tight radiuses can be bent on this shaft right here. The 2010 notcher produced this channel letter return. Before we start bending this letter, let me show you these bending dimples. Now these are key instructions on what direction to bend the letter. 2 dimples mean that you bend the material backwards, or a negative bend. A single dimple, which will line up with the 100-degree notch, is a positive bend. That means you'll bend it in this direction. Over here I want to show you the 100-degree notch. This is for a positive bend. Now over here, the 100-degree notch fired 3 times, before, at, and after. And you're going to bend on this notch here. It also has a dimple down there on the other end of it that lines up with it. The purpose of this notch here and this one here is so that the flange doesn't collide into itself when you bend that more than a 90. So this little routine only happens if it's a positive bend and it's greater than a 90. Over here, this happens if it's a positive bend and it's 90 degrees or less. Now all these other notches here are 30-degree notches. These are either radius notches or they're negative bends. And wherever you have 2 dimples on the front end of the return, it'll line up with a 30-degree notch, indicating that's a negative bend. Now we're going to bend up this letter. This is a Helvetica letter R. Okay? All you got to do, slide the return in your clamp. Now, line up your single dimple, 100-degree notch, means I bend that direction. Step on the foot pedal and make my bend. Single dimple, 100-degree notch. Pretty much anytime you have a 100-degree notch, you're going to have a single dimple. So at this point, you really don't need to locate that single dimple once you get good at using the tool. Now here I have a double dimple, and it has the 30-degree notch. So all I got to do is rotate the handle around, slip the return back in, and bend it. Okay? Now these notches are your radius. So okay, now I have another 100-degree notch. Now here we're coming up to the triple notch. Pick my center notch and just bend it. And notice how the flange doesn't collide. Another double dimple. Okay, we'll just finish it off on the rollers. This is a very cost-effective way to bend channel letters.